Welcome, dear viewer, to the Church of Favonius. What's the difference between healing bonus and incoming healing bonus? The healing bonus stat applies to its outgoing healing bonus. So if you have healing bonus on Kokomi, it will increase the healing that Kokomi does. Incoming healing bonus increases the healing you receive. So if you have incoming healing bonus on Kokomi, it's not going to increase how much she is healing your Singto or your Yelan. That being said, in Furina's case, she gives incoming healing bonus to the whole team, so it does increase for everyone. But, most likely, it isn't going to work on Kokomi's passive that transforms healing bonus into motion value, because it's not the healing bonus stats, it's a different stat of incoming healing bonus. So it's likely not going to work on her passive. Which is likely why they called it that. Which I think is cringe. I like, make it work with Kokomi, you fucking losers. Let's talk about Dehya carry, okay? So right now, the Dehya carry team is Dehya, Bennett, Kazuha, Mona, right? And it is not a good team, but that's okay. It is what it is. Sometimes it do be like that. I've seen a lot of people wonder, is this going to, or is Furina going to make this team better instead of Mona? And the short answer is, like, not much better. Because here's the thing, right? You don't want to replace Bennett, because if you lose Bennett's energy generation, Dehya's ER requirements shoot up so much, and it's just not doable. Losing VV is also really fucking bad. So realistically, maybe Kazuha, right? Maybe Kazuha, or sorry, maybe Mona. Okay, so what happens if you replace Mona? Well, you don't have a way to heal to full, which means you'll never proc Furina's passive that heals a full team when you overheal a character. Your rotation is going to be something like Furina, EQ, Bennett, EQ, or QE, or whatever. Maybe the other way around. It'll depend, like, on how the timings line up to get a Hydro App on them. Kazuha, hold E, get a double swirl. Dehya Q. Right? Maybe you start with fucking Dehya E before this. Don't know exactly where it would fit. But, like, the basic idea of the rotation is something like this. This means you'll get, like, one healing tick on Kazuha from Bennett's burst, and the rest on Dehya. Which means past the first rotation, Furina, not healing. Bennett, not healing. Kazuha healing maybe one tick, and Dehya healing probably the equivalent of plus 50%, minus 50% from Furina's passive plus Bennett healing. So that's 100 stacks from Dehya. And then maybe, like, I mean, if you go full healing Bennett, you can probably get another, like, 70-ish stacks onto Kazuha, right? Will it make the team better? Yes. Because Dehya fucking sucks. And honestly, Furina's probably going to do more damage in the team than Dehya does. Right? So will it be better? Yes. But is it actually going to make this team good? I mean, this is kind of like playing this team, right? This team is better than this team. Because if you just play this and don't use Dehya's burst, it performs better than if you do this. And it's why I've mostly stopped playing this team, because as much as it's a really cool team, where things line up really well, the numbers just suck too much for it to really be enjoyable when you're doing content that isn't fucking Overworld. And even in Overworld, it's incredibly ER reliant, so it doesn't even feel good to play there. I really just I'm not expecting great things out of Dehya teams with Furina. Is Neuvillette overhyped, or is he really one of the best DPSs in the game? Neuvillette's main strength is that he's not balanced to be a hyper carry. He's not balanced around having a lot of supports available to him. But they still want him to feel alright for players who don't play, or for players who want to play him in a role like that. So they kind of have to inflate his numbers, because he just doesn't have a lot of supports available to him to significantly increase his damage. And that makes it so that in his teams where you don't play him as a hyper carry, he does more damage than he arguably should. His ceiling isn't that high. His ceiling is fairly high. It's just, with Neuvillette, is it possible to max Furina's stacks? I mean, now, yeah. Very easily. Neuvillette himself. Like, Neuvillette will max stack Furina by himself. He'll over max stack Furina by himself. Does Furina retain stacks if we ult again? Probably not. Like, that's definitely not something that's gonna stay. If it's possible that she does right now in beta. But if she does, it's just an oversight from them changing the cooldown of it and not thinking it through yet. And if it's something in beta, I don't think it's gonna make it to live. What are your thoughts on Kuki in a Furina team, since she drains a decent amount of her own HP? Kuki's drain won't matter, right? Because you're not staying on Kuki to heal her. Which means that, if anything, her drain is actually a downside, because it means that you have less uptime on her being above 50% HP for Nahida's passive. But then on top of that, her healing is pretty low, which makes it slightly questionable if you actually, like, generate enough stacks from that healing, because it's only on one unit in your team rather than on a lot of them. How would you rank all the Archons, including Furina, in terms of meta strength? I mean, I don't know about Furina yet. Nahida would be the best. Then either Raiden or Furina, I'm not sure. Then Venti. And then Zhongli. But I don't know. Like, there's kind of... It feels wrong to talk about Raiden as, like... Because the main way that I use Raiden is as an E-bot in Hyperbloom. And it just feels wrong to call her good just because of that, you know? But, like, she kind of is. Like, being used to Raiden, I can't play Hypermoon with Kuki anymore, man. It's such a nice quality of life upgrade to use Raiden instead. But, like, that's...
Is it what you wish to find?
Illusion shattered. Committed to memory. Book alive.
I don't know, man. Like, how much value can I attribute to that when at the end of the day there is a 4-star unit that does her job, that maybe is sometimes less comfortable but is still good at it, you know? Oh, fuck off.